Hello everyone, this is the Dork Duo, the P2 and JD. I'm JD, he's P2. We're playing... Howdy. Yeah, howdy. How's it going, partner? We're playing the Great Astrian Chronicles Adventures in Run, Episode 3.
Glancing over my records of the late last century, I am faced by the events of a certain bitter winter.
Oh, you don't say.
Murder in a carriage, as it sped through dense London fog in the dead of night.
Wait, I think I've seen this one in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Oh no.
There's a Jack the Ripper and the horse.
There were multiple witnesses to
Oh no, not Jack the Ripper. He's horrible. He likes to eat horse meat.
Oh,
none
wait.
could have imagined at the time that such a seemingly obvious case as this would end in such a horrendous manner.
I'd be fine.
My friend, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, once said of the incident, I believe that perhaps that case was indeed the prelude. The beginning of a long concerto that impressive Japanese student and I were to play together.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh wow, the train.
Yeah.
Amazing. Is this really just a railway station?
Railway station or not, I've never seen such an enormous building before.
And look at all the steam locomotives. This country is incredible.
Welcome to London.
Nice. Coincidentally, like, Ryunosuke, that hat kind of makes me think of Jotaro for a little bit.
I feel like
How his hair is like too.
So
Oh,
this
yeah.
is the capital of Great Britain.
So, where to?
Oh, hello.
Climb aboard. I'll take you wherever you want to go.
in that case, this Supreme Court in Whitehall, if you wouldn't mind.
My pleasure.
I do mind, actually. Get out of here.
Get off my couch!
You're visiting students from abroad, eh?
Yes.
How could you tell?
Thought
Well, you don't look like us.
I hope you enjoy your stay.
That's a pretty dead giveaway.
And welcome to the centre of the world, Great Britain's mighty capital, London.
Like, could you imagine, like, someone's like, hey, you don't look like you're from around here. It's like, how'd you tell? Well, you don't look like you're someone from Russia or England or Japan. Like, yeah, how else could we tell? You don't look like someone of this nationality.
That's so weird when they say stuff like that. It's like, yeah, we're not from around here. Like, look at our clothes too.
Yeah, exactly. The fashion, like everything. I don't know. Anyway,
That's strange.
18th of February, 9:21 in the morning. Whew. British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice's office. Imposing, isn't it?
Oh, it sure is. Oh, dear.
That's
oh,
you.
What an incredible place.
It's so imposing. It's almost suffocating.
This place is breathing. Oh, breathtaking. It's not
This
breathing.
place
It's not
is
alive.
breathing!
Get out of here! It's a mouth. It looks like a fortress.
There are some stone buildings like this in Japan now, of course. But they've only been built in a few short decades since we've opened our borders to the outside world. An authentic example like this is quite a different impact, wouldn't you agree? A far cry from the wood and paper most of our buildings are constructed from.
Certainly unfamiliar. But I think there's more to the differences than just construction materials. What is this place again?
This is the Lord Chief Justice's office, Naruhodo-san, in the Supreme Court of Great Britain.
Naruhodo. The Lord Chief
Naruhodo.
Justice.
We had instructions to report here at this time if circumstances were different. We were supposed to let the Lord Chief Justice know that we'd arrived from Japan.
But Cosma can't.
No. So instead, we are here in a different capacity. As envoys, to report the news of Kazuma-sama's death.
Yes.
And having delivered his or her message, and envoy's duty is done.
So, we'd have to return to Japan.
If we want to remain here in Great Britain,
I have to take Cosmo's place as the law student selected for the study tour.
yes, which means you need to requisite qualifications as a lawyer.
What is what I've been studying for?
Here in Great Britain, it is the Lord Chief Justice who appoints lawyers. So that's the second reason why we're here, to have you officially recognized as a lawyer. It's the only way that we'll be able to remain here in London.
I hope I'm up to scratch.
Ah, good morning. Sorry for keeping you. Look at me, I'm big and imposing.
Whoa. Oh,
I
He
trust
actually
you
looks
aren't
cool.
too exhausted after your long voyage from Japan. It seems I'm 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 47 seconds late. My apologies.
oh, no, don't mention it. We're never happier that we're standing around with nothing much to do.
Bad answer!
See Toodles.
How fortunate. So, introductions. I am Mael Strongheart, Lord Chief Justice of the British Empire.
Man, that is a male, I guess. And I feel like a little mouse under an elephant's foot.
Come on, Mr. Naruhodo, don't be a mouse!
Oh, it's an honor to meet you, Lord Chief Justice Strongheart. I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo from the Empire of Japan.
Well, Mr. Naruhodo. Welcome to London, the capital of our glorious British Empire.
Yes, thank you. And I wish I was that cool.
He's a
This guy looks awesome.
Huge man! Alright, well, let's talk to him.
So, what are your impressions of our capital so far? How do you like London?
Oh, help! I've been so nervous ever since I got here. I can't remember a single thing about the city.
It's simply splendid! Isn't it, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh,
We had a wonderful view of some of London's streets from the carriage on the way here from the station. Everything is so impressive and grand. I must say I'm almost at a loss for words.
I'm glad to hear you like it. The city boasts tramways, piped water and gas, even cables supplying electricity. We spearhead every revolutionary new technology in the world. Every visitor to London is astounded.
That must have been so cool at the time.
Yeah, could you imagine?
Yeah, like, you never
Yes,
knew...
we make
like how that
everything
worked.
that the world is now looking at to copy us.
Like, dang, man, that's...
That's so cool.
Oh, yes. Astounded is the word.
Thanks for saving me there, Susato-san.
And everyone seems so jolly and full of vigor.
Yes. There's much excitement about the upcoming great exhibition we will be hosting here in London.
Great exhibition?
Cultural and technological achievements from around the globe are to be exhibited here in our great city. It will be the greatest spectacle of its kind in history, and will make Paris World Fair look like a toy shop.
Gosh, I can hardly imagine how magnificent it's going to be.
Great Britain's capital city is nothing but magnificent. London is the center of the modern world.
Did those birds come from you when you did that before?
Of course!
Wow, that's cool. Even if you do say so yourself.
The sun will never set in our great empire. Perhaps it is fate that in these progressive times, we welcome visitors from the land of the rising sun.
Well, thanks. Lord Chief Justice, I think you were expecting a student of law for the study tour, weren't you?
Absolutely. A Mr. Kazuma Asogi, if my memory serves.
That's right.
The British government has already been telegraphed a full report on the situation. I understand the young man lost his life aboard the steamship bound for our shores.
That's amazing. The news reached him before we even arrived.
My country naturally extends its deepest condolences to yours.
Oh, thank you.
And you honored this appointment specifically to inform me of the news?
Yes. We are here in the capacity of envoys from Japan to report the sad news in person.
They tell me you Japanese are a people of protocol and courtesy, and I see that it's true. And it is with some regret that I must inform you that the death of the young lawyer means the study tour arrangement can no longer proceed.
If you would just hear us out, Lord Strongheart.
What do you have to say, madam?
It's about the study tour. See, this dork over here has been studying for a while to become a lawyer.
What's a dork?
That would be me, sir.
Mr. Naruhodo here would like to make a proposal.
Would he now? Well, Mr. Naruhodo.
This is it then. The moment of truth. The thing is, Lord Justice, Lord Strongheart, I was wondering if perhaps you would consider allowing the study tour to go ahead?
Don't misunderstand me. Britain would ideally like to see the tour go ahead. But without a lawyer from your country, there's nothing to be done. Excuse me.
Well, in that case, what if there was someone else? Another lawyer from Japan, I mean.
Is there something I don't know?
Probably a great many things, but, you know, we're not gonna say that to his face.
Only a single lawyer was invited. Only a single lawyer was invited to Great Britain from your country, and that was Mr. Asoki. At least, that is what I've been led to understand.
Well, the thing is, this really isn't going well at all. I just can't seem to find the right words to say to this man.
It's like Ryunosuke is still nervous, and this man is just huge and
This
important.
isn't helping. I wish I had Puny's, like, I guess, like, confidence. So just look at people straight in the face like, yeah, that's what I'm here for.
Mr. Naruhodo!
I could ruin things here if I'm not careful. What am I going to say? There's something else from Japan. There's something else here from Japan who could be described as a lawyer. It's me. It's me. I can do it.
Is that so?
I mean, I don't actually have any qualifications as such, but
No qualifications, you say? And yet you still claim to be a lawyer.
I've acted as a lawyer in court before. Only once, as it happens. And I had Cosmo to help me, and I was the accused. But glossing over the details.
Maybe don't bring up that second point, especially.
No, that'll ruin it. I've been spending every spare moment on the journey here to Great Britain studying. I've learned all about British law and court proceedings while I was aboard the SS Brodia.
The voyage from Japan is some 50 days, I believe. Not what you might call a full education. To become a qualified lawyer here in Britain, not only do you need a university degree in law, you must also complete several years of training.
Right. I realize it's far too short a period of time. But I can't just go back to Japan. Kazuma, Mr. Asaki's journey had only just begun. Coming here on the study tour was all he thought about. I have to carry on and do everything he planned to do. I know it must sound like I'm overly inflated opinion of myself. But I would do anything to prove I have what it takes. Any test you care to set me. Just one chance. That's all I'm asking for. Please!
31 seconds.
Sorry?
Your opening statement there, Mr. Naruhodo. It was 31 seconds long. Not too brief, not too protracted. A perfectly judged appeal, I would say. Which is a skill that would stand you in good stead as a lawyer.
Oh, thanks.
So, you're willing to put those words to trial, are you? Well, I'm all for entertainment.
Huh?
But let me ask you one thing first, sir.
Yes?
You say you intend to do everything Mr. Asogi planned to do. Are you firmly set on that path?
Well, yes. That's my intention.
If only I knew the full plan.
Oh dear.
I see.
Am I imagining things? Or did his expression just alter a fraction there all of a sudden?
Very well. You have your wish. I'll give you a chance. A test to become a specially certified lawyer. Whether you pass or fail is entirely down to you.
Really? So, what form will the test take exactly?
Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo, what do you consider the role of a lawyer to be?
Well, defending people, of course.
Well said. So, let's have you defend someone.
Huh?
How about trial immediately?
Oh no.
No prep
What do you have?
time.
Your timing is perfect, in fact. There's an apt trial about to begin later today. No advocate has been appointed for the defenses yet, so this will be welcome news.
Today?
Straight away?
If you manage to secure a verdict of not guilty, you'll have passed my test. What could be simpler?
Gee, I don't know. A lot of things could be simpler, like if we had any idea what was going on in this case.
For real though, jeez. How do I get myself into these situations?
Well, could I ask, what sort of trial is it, Lord Strongheart?
It's an ace-attorney game. Murder, of course. Yes, good question. I remember. It's a murder trial.
A murder?
An extremely simple case, I understand. You really can't lose.
That's easy to say.
But I should mention, just in case, if the defendant is found guilty, he will of course be sentenced to capital punishment.
Capital punishment? He'll be put to death?
Here in Great Britain, murderers are sent to the gallows without exception. Presumably, you read that much in your short sea-based introduction to British law.
We can't possibly agree to such a test. We'd be toying with a man's life.
I'm the Lord Chief Justice, and I've decided it's acceptable.
But you can't do that. Can you?
He can. And he
Dang.
will.
You've got a lot of power, sir.
He has all the power.
There's no need to overcomplicate this. All you have to do is ensure that you don't lose. Simple.
I don't know how simple that is. So the defendant may live or die depending on how well I perform in court? I mean, that was my thing too. If I
That
lose.
is true. But now you're in charge of someone else's life.
Oh dear. If I lose, he'll be hanged.
Mr. Naruhodo, you've come to me claiming to be a lawyer. If you want me to take you seriously, you need to prove you're willing to do a lawyer's job. And you say you intend to see through the will of your compatriot, Mr. Asogi. I would like to understand just how far you're willing to go in order to make that happen.
He's testing my resolve.
What's the matter? You've fallen silent. I'm sorry, but time is pressing. The trial begins shortly. I need an answer from you now. What's it to be?
What do I say? Do I agree to this absurd test? Yeah, sure. Got to. Alright, then. If I have to give you a decision now, my answer is... I can't do it. I can't get the words out.
15 seconds. Your decision-making needs work if you want to be a lawyer. That was too slow. So, it's as I suspected, is it?
Sorry?
You have noble intentions, but lack the resolve to see them through. The test is cancelled. Thank you for stopping by.
No!
Go and acquire your ticket for passage back to the east tomorrow. This conversation is over.
Oh, come on. Yes, Lord Strongheart. Thank you for offering me a chance.
Mr. Naruhodo,
I'm sorry, Mrs. Sato, but what could I do?
you could have responded. It's alright.
Yeah,
I understand.
you do?
It's not an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances. But resolve has absolutely nothing to do with it.
What are you trying to say, madam?
I think what Mrs. Sato means is that no matter how badly I'd like to be recognized as a lawyer and stay here in Great Britain, to risk another man's life by treating his one and only chance at a trial so trivially would be utterly unforgivable, and I feel exactly the same way. I'm sure the defendant won't see this trial as a test, as some kind of experiment. A lawyer may fight for his clients in the court day after day, but for each one of those clients, the particular day that they stand in the dock may be the only chance they have to fight to prove their innocence. No, I was wrong. I'm not qualified to do that job yet. I'm sorry for wasting your precious time, Lord Chief Justice.
Wait, Mr. Naruhodo.
Hold it! Oh, was there something else?
It's approximately 20 minutes by carriage to the Old Bailey from here. If you leave immediately, you should still be there in time.
But I just said that...
I was quite serious in what I told you. The defendant in this case has literally no one to advocate for him.
What?
At this point, he can't hope to find someone to represent him. The trial will begin without a defense. And if that happens, there's only one possible outcome. He will receive the most severe sentence the judge can pass down.
But that's awful.
But that is the truth.
Why does it have to be like this?
Because we do not have court-appointed lawyers. Please don't expect an answer to every question. The cold, hard truth of the matter is that there is only one person now with the chance to save this man from a very miserable end. And that is you.
I'm really his only hope?
You really are. So,
Dang.
what do you say now, madam?
Me? What do you mean, Lord Strongheart?
You said it wasn't an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances, and I agree. But in my estimation, it is purely and simply a matter of resolve.
Oh,
Our time is up here. I have a meeting to attend. I must leave in 2 minutes and 16 seconds. So, venture into our great city and enjoy yourselves.
Well.
he's gone.
The Old Bailey.
If we're going to do this, Mr. Naruhodo, We must leave at once. Well, it's, I guess we only have one option, don't we?
Gotta go. We gotta defend that guy, wherever he is.
18th of February at 9:45. Welcome to the Old Bailey. Oh, thank goodness we're in time. There's still 15 minutes until the trial begins.
I never knew a horse-drawn carriage could go so fast. I thought my teeth were gonna rattle loose.
Did you hear what I said to the driver when we climbed aboard?
Dang, that's fast.
Get us to our destination in 5 minutes, driver, and there's a guinea in it for you. It's one of my favorite lines from the Herlock Sholmes stories, and it worked quite perfectly.
I'm not sure why you're so pleased. I thought we were gonna die, and we had to pay gold for the privilege.
Well, at least we arrived here before the trial started.
Yes, I suppose there's that.
Anyway, I don't understand it. The court clerk said the defendant should be here, but there's no sign of him at all.
Weird. So this is the Old Bailey. Even this room for defendants to wait is grand.
Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo?
No, I can't talk. I'm feeling tense, that's all.
Understandable.
This place gives me the same sense of foreboding that I remember in the Supreme Court in Japan. An oppressing air. Almost as if the building itself is going to crush whoever is about to be sentenced. Feels like only yesterday that I was the one about to be crushed.
Yes, whoever the man you're to defend is, I imagine he's feeling very alone at this moment. Top of the morning to you, madam! Sir!
Oh? Oh.
What are yous doing? Following me here. Tings are fair desperate, are they?
Sorry?
This is a horrible Irish accent. I'm not apologizing. Would you look at these expressionless faces? From the east, are yous?
We're from Japan, yes?
Ah, Japan, is it? Right, say no more. So, how much do yous need?
No, we're here just because...
No need to explain, fella. I've been there myself, so I have. No place to go, nothing to eat, barely a penny to your name, and all while in a strange, faraway land.
Well, actually, we haven't found a place to stay yet, no.
'Tis grand, 'tis grand. Let me start by giving yous 1,000 guineas. Say nothing now.
Huh.
1,000 guineas?
Please, Mr. Sato, you don't have to shout.
But 1,000 guineas is enough to build an entire mansion in the most prestigious area of Tokyo.
What?
Oops. Wrong button. 'Tis nothing to me at all. I like to ensure sufficient funds to weather a rainy day, you see. I have enough wealth to buy the city of London 2 or 3 times over.
That much rain even fall in one day? Well, even so, we couldn't possibly accept such a large sum. I would.
I'm gonna say,
That hit me in the eye.
don't get me wrong, fella. I'm not giving it to you, no strings attached. I'll be wanting you to do something for me.
Oh?
To be honest, 'tis a little embarrassing. The trial that's about to begin, you see, is for me good self here. And I'll be in the dock. So now, what I want you to do is come along with me and stand there beside me. Officially, you'd be my lawyer, but that's just a little detail now.
Oh, well, the thing is...
Don't worry about a thing. All you have to do is stand up there next to me, nothing more. Otherwise, you see, the trial is going to start without me having any kind of representation at all.
So it was true. The Lord Chief Justice wasn't just making it all up.
I make nothing up.
I'm terribly sorry to have to ask, but does that mean you're the defendant in this trial? Bluster and blazes! Do yous not know who I am? Me, one of London's biggest names.
No, sorry, we've only just arrived in the city, you see.
I see. I suppose it isn't altogether impossible. Well, just next to Hyde Park there in the center of London is another beautiful park.
Sorry? A park? What?
'Tis called the Gilded Park, full of blossoming flowers in the spring and singing birds and whatnot. I donated to the city, so I did. An entire park? In central London? A city of smiles, that's my vision for London. There's nothing Magnus McGilded wouldn't do for the city and its queer old people.
That's amazing. I mean, really extraordinary.
Ah, but now they've the gall to say I'm a good-for-nothing criminal. Me, Magnus McGilded. What is the matter with the London police, I ask you?
Alright, don't pass out.
Too late, here I go!
Oh dear.
Mr. Naruhodo,
Yes.
perhaps now would be a good time to introduce ourselves while the gentleman catches his breath.
Good idea. Mr. McGilded, the thing is, we're actually here in London to study British law. We're law students, on a study tour from Japan, you see. So, if you don't have a lawyer for the trial yet, you'd be happy to put yourself in our hands. We'll do our best.
What was I after saying, you daft idiot? I'm giving you 1,000 gates stamp there next to me, haven't I?
Well, yes, but I really wasn't offering to just stand up there next to you.
Oh, I think I see what's going on here.
Sorry?
I know what you're thinking. This Chancellor of a fella claims to have more money than the Queen. But if that's true, why the blazes can't he have the finest lawyer in all of England? Actually, that's a good point.
Yeah, that is. Why can't you
Because he
hire
did it! That's the only explanation. Well,
well, I don't know what to answer.
do you think he did it or not at all?
Well, I mean, he donated to the city. I don't know if he did. Like, but then again, people can't hide their true intentions by doing good deeds, though.
Make your choice.
Bart, I don't actually know what to pick. Maybe not at all, because I don't know if he did do it. Not at all. Although, it's a little strange, to be honest. Why don't you have a lawyer, I mean?
That would be the fault of the Reaper.
Sorry, did you just say Reaper?
Yeah, seasons don't fear the Reaper, but I sure do. Aye, the Grim Reaper of the Bailey, Lord Borog von Zykes. He is the prosecutor. The prosecutor is the Grim Reaper?
That's scary.
When von Zykes stands for the prosecution, they call the accused his sacrificial lambs. And to this day, in every single trial in which he's been the prosecutor, the accused has been damned. Doesn't that suck?
Yeah, what?
So it's reached the desperate situation where there's no one willing to stand defense against the fellow at all. You could say he's a living legend of the Old Bailey. Goodness. Lord Baroque van Zykes. He must be an exceptionally talented prosecutor then. And Mr. Naruhodo, you're...
I'm a what?
Talented isn't the word you're looking for, madam. It's cursed.
Cursed? What on earth?
The defendant is summoned, and his counsel. Please make your way into the courtroom. The trial is about to begin.
Counsel. That would be me.
Oh, 'tis time. Well then, fella, don't let me down.
But I don't know anything about the case.
That's true, we know absolutely nothing.
You haven't told me what happened.
Until you showed your face here. I'd made up me mind, so I had.
Sorry?
I decided I'd have to defend myself in there.
How would that have worked?
it probably wouldn't have. But then he made an appearance. A student of law, wouldn't you know? I can't read my lines. 'Tis no accident, I can assure you of that. 'Tis fate. So don't get cold feet now, please.
Dang. Okay.
No pressure. You know,
Yeah.
it's not like everyone who goes against Von Sykes, the defense is just condemned, apparently, according to McGilded.
Wow. I literally know nothing about the case. Or about this man who stands accused.
In fact, you know more about Von Sykes than you do about the about the person defending. Isn't that sad?
Oh no. That's horrible. In fact, the only thing I do know is that I can't just turn my back on him.
Mr. Naruhodo.
The man has no one. He'll have to stand alone in that courtroom, armed with nothing to defend himself. Yes. Something that Cosmo would have never allowed to happen.
Counsel for the defense, what are you doing? If you're
I'll be
late
there
for
in
the
a
start...
sec.
Oh, excuse me. Well, don't forget, if you're late, you'll lose your right to stand. We'll chop off your legs.
Jeez Louise! My legs!
Your legs are condemned, boy!
Ah, don't be right there! Jeez! I didn't know Great Britain was that harsh. It's happening then. My first trial in the British court. I hope you're watching over me, Kazuma. Because I have no idea how I'm going to manage this.
But we'll have to find out in the next episode, I believe. Unless going right to the trial. Oh, it's going to the trial! Okay,
Oh, snap, we're doing this!
For some reason, the way this guy's divided is divided like how it was before, where it's like in segments. Okay.
Oh, well, looks like we're doing it. Let's do it.
Alright. Let me see if my mouse responds. Mouse, do you want to work, please? That'd be great, so I can move to the next chapter. There we go.
Mouse, you better work. Otherwise you're going in the trash!
Alright. 18th of February at 10 a.m. sharp. The Old Bailey courtroom.
Boy.
And the prosecution is not here yet.
Dang. So, this is the highest court in Great Britain. The Old Bailey. Centuries of history in this place is palpable, isn't it? It's so different to the Supreme Court in Japan.
It feels both imposing and serene at the same time. The atmosphere almost makes words redundant. Whatever the country, determining a person's guilt or innocence is always a solemn affair. May I say something, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh, yes. What?
You brought the sword?
Yeah, because I need to cut someone down.
Your eyes look ready to pop out of your head again.
I know, but I just can't help it. Oh. It's a vampire!
So, we
Oh,
have
this
6
guy.
witnesses and a judge. I got prosecution. What do you want to
Okay.
do?
I'll be the judge then, I guess.
Alright, you're up.
Let's see. In the name of Her Majesty, the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session.
I hope that's the voice you want to use throughout all the trials.
I might have to.
I mean,
gotta
you
make
can
it
swap
authentic.
it, I don't care.
I mean, if my throat gets too tired, I'll swap. We are here today to determine the guilt of innocence of Mr. Magnus McGilded. I now call upon the counsels of the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed.
The prosecution is fully prepared.
Looks cool. That must be the Reaper of
You
the
can
Bailey.
barely even see him, you're already calling him cool. Dang.
He really does look prepared to dispatch his next poor victim to the underworld. Counsel for the defense, you appear to be Eastern. Do you speak English?
I don't know, there's a judge.
Probably not. Oh, yes, of course. Sorry. Viggy asked if the defense was ready. And I couldn't be further from ready if I tried.
Just want to point out, our court record is empty. We have no information! We were given nothing.
What the frick do we do? Yeah, he does look cool.
Those eyes please me. Maple knees. They shroud your fear, your doubt, your trepidation. They run wild, cling to some phantom notion of courage. The quintessential look of a sacrificial lamb.
A cold shiver just ran down my spine all the way to the tips of my toes.
I have no idea how much that even picked up on the mic, but I hope it did.
Oh no, did that cut out?
No, I'm saying what I was saying with Von Zykes.
Oh, I heard it pretty good.
Oh, okay.
Now, Mr. McGilded,
Yes, my lord.
you stand accused of murder.
Don't tell me I
you're-
stand accursed! I'm scared of
Oh,
that
well.
one.
Well, Zix is here. What do you expect me to do? A capital offense. You could be sent to the gallows if found guilty. Are you quite sure you wish to entrust your defense to this foreigner?
As I've always said, my lord, 'tis a grand thing to give opportunities to the young. Even the fellow's a student from some little island off in the Far East. It is not the British way to ignore the dangers of yourself and give the less fortunate a fair chance. I'd like to think that acts of chivalry to do great... Wow, I can't read. I'd like to think that acts of chivalry do the great British Empire proud. Listen, Mr. McGilded. What a fine gentleman has in him. Do you hear that he donated £5,000 to the girl the other day? Mother, please may we go and play in McGilded Park? It seems as though everyone in the public gallery is firmly behind Mr. McGilded.
That's definitely welcome news. And he certainly had a way with words. I'm surprised he couldn't convince anyone to defend him. Shut up! Adequately put, Mr. McGilded. In most laudable sentiments. Now, don't I look like Santa Claus? Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm sure I need hardly remind you that you six members of the public have been selected for your impartiality. Are you ready to proceed? Jeez, 6 people.
Alright, so... We have 6 jurors. Do you want me to do all 6? Do you want to do some? How do we want to do this?
Well, we can split some, so it won't be like 2 taxing on one person.
I'm used to doing all the tax and stuff, but I appreciate the offer to take some away.
I hate taxes. Well, oh, so what do you feel? You want me to be this one?
Sure, have at it.
Alright.
I will say, because they're more minor, you can do whatever, but...
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine then. Yes, my lord, the task is sent to is to send Rotos to the gallows where they belong. I'm more than ready.
At the manor, his lordship always says we should dispose of rubbish promptly. Naturally, I agree.
Ha!
I guess it was round robin, yeah.
Any criminals here will soon be wishing they never set eyes on me.
Is that a knife? In my
Yeah.
Bailey.
I sure hope I don't throw this into my eye. It's dangerously close. Oh, I guess that's not the case. Okay.
And... You get no... Oh wait, you do get a line.
I feel a chill.
Oh, don't mind me, my dears. I'll just be getting on with my knitting. Must finish these mitts for my grandson.
I just realized I got the female jurors, which is fine.
I mean, hey,
Mr. Naruhodo,
you
these
also cool.
people are... Wait, I'm voicing a lot of women. I just realized.
Yeah, the jury, yes. That's something we don't have in Japan yet.
If only we can get Bird in here to record these as well.
Yeah, I've been trying to see if she would, but she was like, no, I don't want to. I'll just watch. I'm like, okay.
Ah, but she has a good voice. Oh well. That's right.
Nah.
I've only ever read about it. But here in Great Britain, the court's final verdict depends on the opinions of these 6 jurors. The judge passes sentence according to the law, but the jurors determine guilt based on common sense, which these people seem to be lacking a lot of. So the
Oh,
defendant is
dear.
ultimately judged from two completely different points of view.
But how exactly do the jurors give their verdict?
That I don't know. But I'm sure it'll become clear as the trial progresses.
Yes. Prosecutor Van Sykes.
It's Von Sykes, not Van Sykes, you imbecile.
You're a car! Don't you
Lord.
forget! It's been a number of years since we've seen you here in this courtroom. I thought you'd renounce your fame.
I'm known as the Reaper of the Bailey, my lord. Infamy rather than fame, I would say. But yes, 5 years have passed since I last spread my wings in this capacity.
So, what brings you back? Is there some change in circumstances of which the court should be aware?
I leave that to your imagination, my lord.
So the Reaper has been out of action for 5 years. Why do you have to choose the day of all days to make a comeback?
Don't lose heart, Mr. Naruhodo.
I lost my stomach. As you wish, sir. The court nevertheless welcomes your return. Now then, opening statements, I think. A summary of the case, if you please.
Certainly, my lord. As your lordship is aware, this is a case of overwhelming simplicity.
We must be the only ones here who aren't aware.
The incident took place in the late evening, 3 days past. The hour was some minutes after 10. The victim was a maker of building bricks known in the community as Thrice-Fired Mason.
Sorry? Thrice. He was a very accomplished craftsman. The bricks he fired were said to be almost indestructible.
Alas, only diamonds are unbreakable.
That's
Oh,
not
yes.
even true!
Shut up. The victim's corpse was discovered in an omnibus in service to the streets of London at the time. A dagger that had been thrust into the victim's abdomen is believed to be the ultimate cause of death. Here's the autopsy report from the investigation.
Thank you, Counsel. I shall accept that in the photograph as evidence.
I'm not redoing that line, dang it.
I don't mind it.
And one further item of evidence. The prosecution wishes to submit these as well.
Ooh, gloves. Are they just my size? Good lord! Is that blood, Counsel?
Yes, my lord. Seized by a policeman who arrived at the scene. These gore-soaked gloves were taken from the hands of the accused when he was arrested.
What? Mr. McGilda's gloves have blood on them?
That could be a problem.
Yes, I'll accept these as evidence as well. You know, they could be just strawberry jam.
I highly doubt that, my lord.
Well, did you taste it?
Are you joking?
Well, you look like a vampire. I just thought, okay, never mind. How did I get into this? I'm backed into a corner before I even started.
Continuing. According to the driver of the omnibus, there were only 2 passengers traveling inside his vehicle at the time.
Only 2.
Obviously, one of those passengers was the deceased brickmaker, Mr. Mason. The other was the accused, Magnus McGilded.
Well, rather damning circumstances to say the least. Defendant, what say you?
Oh boy, I'm screwed! Well, of course, I'm in recollection of such a thing. That's not good to say.
Mr. McGilded?
To be sure, I rode the omnibus that evening. But whenever I'm in a carriage, I'm taken with a fierce tiredness, and I always succumb to it.
Are you claiming to have been asleep?
'Tis the motion of the carriage, my lord. Lilton, so it is. When I opened my eyes again, 'twas a desperate sight before me. The body of a man I never laid eyes on before in my life. Now I ask yous, what good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fellow bleeding from his stomach? I wasn't about to start worrying about my gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand. I went... He didn't seem to respond to that, so, no.
Oh, well, I mean, it could happen to anybody. Wait a minute. So the blood got in his clothes, and after the man I had killed.
Imbeciles. Unfortunately, that statement of the driver's is only the beginning.
What? That's not all of it?
There were multiple witnesses to the precise moment at which the brickmaker was fatally stabbed.
And they're talking fast. Order! Order! Order!
When the killing took place, only the victim and the accused were inside the carriage. And there were witnesses to the crime. This is not just a case of compelling evidence. It's the nail in the coffin for the accused.
Thank you, Counsel. The circumstances of the crime have been quite clear. I think we'll hear testimony from these witnesses first of all.
Your wish is my command. Bailiff, bring the witnesses in at once.
But it's Tuesday, isn't it?
I beg your pardon.
I don't work on Tuesday.
Why are you the judge? Witnesses, your names and occupations. My name is, well, everyone calls me Beppo. I drive an omnibus in the East End.
Praise fair play. I'm a banker in the city.
My name's First. Lady First. Do you get the joke? It's
Yeah, ladies.
I make hats for gents. Let's begin by confirming the facts. 3 days ago, at a short time after 10 o'clock in the evening, all of you present in the stand were in an omnibus and witnessed to the aforementioned incident. Is that correct? Yes, sir.
Quite right.
Yes, sir. That's right, sir.
Very well then, let's proceed to your formal testimonies, please. Each of you will tell the court precisely what you saw.
Don't hurt your back leaning like that, Your Honor.
I know it hurts. Oh. Okay.
It was the last bus of the evening, so I had a few customers. I remember it well.
The victim and the man accused of killing him were sat next to each other inside the bus. Then, out of the blue, the accused just reached over and plunged a knife right into his guts.
That's right. He stabbed him. I screamed, I did. Couldn't help it. As soon as I heard the scream, I stopped my bus, and then I saw it too. Why do I sound like a generic old man?
Yeah, why are you so cold? Unambiguous testimony, I must say.
Exactly, my lord. These men witnessed the incident of the omnibus with their own eyes.
I'd like to ask a question, if I may. Yes, Counsel. Well, this testimony makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever.
Why not?
Well, the incident took place inside a moving carriage, didn't it?
As it's been clearly stated from the outset, yes.
Well, in that case, how could those two witnesses possibly have seen what happened? There's no way they could have been seat inside the moving carriage.
Are you stupid, or...
Uh,
I'll take it you are. How quaint. I'd read that civilization in the Eastern Island nations was a good century behind our own. But you're here in London yourself. Are you really so ignorant about our omnibuses?
huh?
Tell
What's a
me,
bus?
my Nipponese friend, have you even traveled in an omnibus?
Well, no. We, only arrived in London this morning.
No matter. I've arranged for us all to see for ourselves. The actual scene of the crime, that is.
Oh, what? What do you mean? The actual scene? How?
A carriage is designed to be moved, after all. Presumably you understand that much.
Yes.
The
Jeez,
omnibus in
man.
which this bloody crime took place is here today, in this very building.
Here. What? The entire carriage?
Bailiff. Bring forth the stricken omnibus.
Why'd you struck it? It didn't do nothing. Oh. Oh, you meant the bus.
I hate everything here.
No, so does Puny. So that's an omnibus. The omnibus.
The ominous omnibus. That's a reference that I'm not really sure anyone's going to understand anymore. That's a
I
series of
don't,
unfortunate events.
but it sounds cool.
reference.
I can't believe they could bring something so enormous in here. Great Britain's courtrooms are amazing.
As you can see, the omnibus is pulled by 2 horses and can carry up to 8 passengers. Four passengers seated inside the enclosed cabin, and another 4 on the rooftop deck above. Every Londoner knows that the best views of the city's architecture and sights are to be had from the top of an omnibus. And I should point out to our foreign guests that there is a skylight in the roof, allowing a view of the interior from the seats above.
Ah, skylight. Oh!
The penny drops at last, I see. These 2 gentlemen were occupying the rooftop seats of the omnibus when the murder took place. That is how they came to witness the grim incident. Through the skylight.
Ugh, that makes perfect sense. Well, Council, this is a first. In all my years behind... Oh, my wig. Oh, in all my years behind the bench, I've never experienced a crime scene itself being brought into the courtroom.
There are a number of important clues remaining inside the carriage, my lord. I would like to submit the omnibus itself as evidence. That is the prosecution's wish.
You saw nothing.
I saw it all.
Darn. Very well, I see no reason why not. This omnibus is hereby formally accepted as evidence.
Well,
Oh,
alright. Bless you.
thank you. I can't believe it. The entire crime scene entered as evidence?
Yes, Great Britain is simply extraordinary.
I could help myself a lot by giving the omnibus a thorough examination, seeing it as it's here. Let us continue with proceedings then. Your cross-examination, Counsel.
Let's see. So, before we move on, let's look at our evidence since we have 4 instead of 0.
Yeah, we kind of need to see that.
So, thrice fired Mason.
54, okay.
So he
Stabbed
died
once in the
on
abdomen.
February 15th at 10, between 10 and 11. Stabbed with a knife while during an omnibus. Died due to internal hemorrhaging resulting from the trauma. Okay.
Ow.
And then a photograph of the crime scene with the knife in
Okay.
his abdomen.
We do see the knife, yes.
And the leather gloves,
Okay.
which we can examine.
Ooh. This is definitely blood, isn't it? Not the most pleasant sight to be confronted with on our first day in London.
Well, nothing will come off rumbling now.
No. By the way, is Mr. McGildet right-handed?
Yes, I believe so. He was throwing at the coin in his right hand a little earlier.
Pity. If only I'd been left-handed.
I think blowing their glove would be fairly incriminating, really. Let's see. Anything
I wonder if
in
that-
the gloves? No.
I wonder if that has anything to do with it.
Nah,
whether
well,
it-
I don't remember, honestly.
No, dear. We're going
Well,
in here
that's all to look at from the
blind.
gloves. And now the omnibus is going to be a lot to look at, I'm assuming. But let's see.
Okay.
Well, let's see here.
Let's go
Well,
inside.
let's open the door and go inside, shall we?
Ugh. Scene of a murder. Horrible.
Alright, let's take a look around.
Uh-oh. Some food didn't agree with him. That's a poster for the Great Exhibition that's due to start 6 months from now. There's a lot of folks being drawn to the Crystal Tower, the centerpiece of the whole exposition.
Oh, the Crystal Tower. It's under construction already, I believe. People over the line must be fizzling with... Fizzling? Fizzling with excitement. The
Fizzling?
prospect of such a great... they're like sodas. They're just fizzling at this...
Oh man, I could go for one right now. Oh,
Well, let's
it's bloody poop.
see.
Oh, hey. Secrets? The seat has a handle, it seems.
And
Ooh.
inside, we have goodies.
We have junk.
Got junk
This
in the
looks
trunk.
like a little junk in the trunk. That's nice. Oh, that's cool. I like that one. This looks like all sorts of equipment that might be needed to help to keep the omnibus running.
Feeding tubs, tools to repair wheels, blankets, horseshoeing tools. So it's a storage compartment for the coachman to keep his things, it seems.
Doesn't seem to be any space for passengers to stow their luggage, that's for sure.
Well, I don't imagine it'd be very convenient for that purpose anyway. So I think that's all that they say. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so let's put this back down.
Okay.
Anything else?
The seat looks reasonably soft, but it's actually rather hard when you sit on it. And only just wide enough for two gentlemen to sit side by side, really. Unless I sat on it.
Of course, an English gentleman would be dressed in such finery, as it would be quite impossible for her to climb up to the roof deck, so she would have to be seated in here.
A woman in a kimono would have the same problem. Women's clothes are very impractical, aren't they?
Let's see, that's probably...
Why don't y'all wear baggy pants?
That's a poster. Yeah, same thing we've already
Okay.
seen. Well, let's look at the blood.
Ew. That's blood that's soaked on the seat. The victims, obviously.
Yes, now see it'd be clearly visible from the roof deck.
Would you really stab somebody in full view of other passengers like that, I wonder?
Well, it was after dark, and there was a lamp on in here, so perhaps the culprit couldn't see anything outside the skylight.
Whichever way you look at it, it doesn't seem like it was a planned attack.
That's interesting.
What if...
It wasn't
what if
planned.
Yeah, but if he was sleeping, there's be no way.
Have you seen enough? Let's step back outside then. I've seen enough.
I don't want to see this anymore. Make my tummy rumble and burp.
Do you
Can we...
Do you see it?
Oh, what? Phoenix Wright?
the Phoenix Wright
Wright supposed to be...
Omnibus?
Wait, how's that name here, though?
It's a neat little Easter egg.
That's cool.
I'd imagine say like
Ah.
Ryuichi Naruhodo Omnibus or something like that in Japanese, because Phoenix Wright's name is Ryuichi Naruhodo.
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah, now
That's
you know.
cool.
You can look it from up here. So this is the roof deck of the omnibus. Oh, you must have a wonderful view of London streets from up here.
So people sit all the way up here on bitter winter nights with the cold air rushing past them?
Man, that must sound great to you, Patu, right? All that cold air.
Oh no, that absolutely kill me. And they have to pay money to do so?
Pay money to freeze to death.
I'd rather not.
I can't imagine how cold it must feel.
That just made me think of something horrible. Can you imagine being dragged around the sea in the freezing cold as punishment?
Perhaps it is a real price you pay to stay out late. Alright, I don't know how much more there is to check at the moment, so we'll go ahead and...
Can we look at the window, like, above?
Maybe. Let's see. Ah, yes.
Okay. You can certainly see the carriage of this open, that's for sure.
Yes, and there's a lamp in the enclosed cabin. So I'm sure the witnesses would have been able to see quite clearly.
It's not good for us.
I like to imagine it, like, while they're, like, looking around, like, just crawling on the thing, like, Von Zykes is like, what are they doing?
It's like, would you kids get off there?
Pray, don't expect this Nipponese stray to understand the intricacies of a British court's cross-examination rights.
Alright. My first cross-examination in a British court. Woof! Focus, Ryunosuke. Focus!
Alright. Now, as of yet,
okay,
we don't have anything to present as, like, there won't be any contradictions to go against yet. So we need to start pressing on statements. So...
okay.
You just tell me which one you want to press on.
Alright, let's see. It was the last bus of the evening, so I had a few customers. I remember... well, okay. The victim and the man accused of killing were said next to... okay. So we see that. Then out of the blue, I just reached over and pulled the knife into... wait, can we press there, maybe?
Sure.
Hold it!
Okay. You actually saw the exact moment it happened. Isn't I already testified to that? Yeah, but how would you? I thought you said you saw it after. Or a fair dinkum hard-working city banker is not considered trustworthy these days. Oh, no. I didn't mean that. It's no good. I've really got his back up. I really got his back up? What the heck? Did I read that
I guess
right?
it means his guard is up. So your line was this part right here, the very bottom.
See, I've really got it. I guess I did. Yeah, I've really got... I don't know why that looks so strange. See, perhaps you could just tell us when you saw a little more detail of that.
My lord! Oh, wait, that's you.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. You're the women. My lord!
I'm very effeminate, apparently.
Juror number 3, what's the meaning of this? My mind is made up, my lord. Completely and utterly made up.
Wow, already, huh?
Made up about what? I don't like the stinking rich, never have.
You seem pretty well off. I guess it's just those who are really rich you don't like.
Yeah. They're always up to something other that they shouldn't be. Every one of them. And that little leprechaun of a man is no exception. Well, he can't fool me.
By the way, do not expect to see this in any other 6 games we'll be playing after these 2 games. This is not a recurring mechanic. This is very much out of the ordinary for the H3 series. So, just letting you know, this is not normal.
Oh, what happened?
It'll be explained.
With the fire and thing.
It'll be explained.
Okay. No point wasting time. Let's any more of this. That's my opinion on the matter anyway. Oh, that is precisely what I was about to say.
Sure.
As the foreman of the jury, it's my duty to set good example to my fellow jurors. Oof.
Those scales are moving.
That's weird. What is happening here? Yeah. So that'll help.
Let me see. Ah, yes. It seems that's how the members of the jury give their verdicts.
With fire?
Apparently, yes. white for innocent and black for guilty. As the 6 members of the jury make up their minds about the case, one by one they each cast a ball of fire into the great scales of justice, as we saw a moment ago.
So if those enormous scales fall completely to the black side, does that mean...
It does. Let's do our very best to make sure that doesn't happen.
Now even more worried than I was before.
So I'll give you a hint. Well, actually, not really a hint, but the first 2 statements do not need to be pressed. You are correct about statement 3. We have 2 more statements to press, which just leaves 4 and 5. But good call.
Jeez. Very well. The court acknowledges the change in the jury's stance. Counsel for the defense, please continue with your cross-examination. This is a nightmare.
So.
Hold it!
Oh. He stabbed him, you say? And you were sitting up on the roof deck, were you?
Yes, that's right, sir. I was up on the roof seats. I remember seeing the little gent sitting next to the fellow that was stabbed. I'd been thinking about a new hat design, you see, so I was just gazing absent-mindedly around. But then I happened to look down through the skylight. It was sticking right out from his belly, that huge, great knife.
A grim sight indeed. That didn't help me at all. The jury looked like they're even more convinced my client did it as they were before. Jeez, that lady's just typing on some crazy.
And it appears to have made everyone even more dubious that Mr. McGilda is telling the truth. And if only we had some evidence to counter their suspicions.
Mr. First,
Oh, yes, sir.
is this the knife you saw?
Oh, good grief. Yes, that's it. The very one, sir.
Is that?
Yes, counsel. That is the blade that was driven to the victim's belly like a stake through the heart.
You know something about that, wouldn't you?
Heart stake.
That is a blade of considerable size, counsel.
It gets bigger, don't worry.
Ooh.
It is.
Sorry, I gotta get my stupid immaturity out real quick.
Yes.
And furthermore, the scabbard is emblazoned prominently with a certain initial. The letter M, which seems oddly familiar. M, as in Mario. Or maybe Magistry. Or maybe McGilded. Or maybe McDonald's. Or maybe...
Oh, I could go for McDonald's.
Miles Edgeworth. Or...
Please, no.
Wait, how do I know that name? M for Magnus, perhaps? Or McGilded, possibly? Take your pick.
I like the McDonald's one.
I like the Miles Edgeworth one. It seems this particular big name in London made a magnificent mistake.
Objection!
Oop, not very confident about that one.
But there are M's everywhere. Yes. Like in Mason.
That's a good point, Ryunosuke.
Objection!
Ha!
This blade is far too extravagant for a poor brickmaker to have owned. No,
How do you know? You don't know his money.
I do. This weapon of murder almost certainly belongs to the working class. Doesn't have money to buy this.
If he could have had it saved away. Oh, okay.
The working class does not have savings like that. This is Britain, not America.
Oh, whoops. I hadn't considered. Yeah. Folks be poor, yo.
I beg your pardon.
Well, we got the knife. We should
Get
probably
it.
take a look at that. Oh, my lord, if you'll forgive the interruption.
Juror number 2, go on.
If you'll forgive the interruption, we have a blade to look at.
Yeah, let's take a look at this and see what's going on.
That part is the sheath, isn't it?
It's like my sword.
Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh, sorry, yes, I just don't really like blades.
Oh. Those don't seem like the words of a man with a large katana slung from his waist.
That's not a blade. That's Cosmo's soul.
Amen.
Anyway, there's no sense in delaying it. Let's see what the blade looks like.
Well, that's certainly blood on it.
Yeah. There's the M in question.
Are we sure it's an M?
It could be a W for Wario.
Wow, Luigi!
Undeniably, Mr. McGilda's initial.
And it's
It could have been a W, though.
too. I mean, I think that might be the thing that we have to worry about. I don't remember, but considering M's and W's are not the same, but if you flip it, you get the other. I wouldn't be surprised if that's where the case has to end up going at some point. And it's beautifully gilded, too. It must be very valuable, I should think. What is it?
Look at this M. If you turn it upside down, it becomes a W. This could change everything.
A W?
Yes. This is one of those, turnabout cases. I'm sure of it.
I'm afraid I don't know at all. What I am sure of is that this is an M.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, that idea's quickly quashed. I mean,
maybe?
it could be a W because look at how it started off like. Oh, looks like a lot of, that looks a lot like blood.
It surely is blood. The victims.
Ugh. That Englishman's blood looks like a lot like Japanese man's blood. Well, we all bleed
Cool
the
fun
same.
fact, we all bleed. Yeah. I was just like, we all bleed the same. Japanese,
We all have
English, Russian, they all bleed the same. Did you
If you
think
bleed
it would?
orange, though, we
If you
don't
bleed,
care.
if you bleed purple, you're probably from Namek.
Yeah. Sorry, it's just that we've only just arrived here in Great Britain. I'm finding it a little hard to adjust.
Yes, I do understand. I don't think there's any more to observe on the knife, so let's go ahead and put that away.
Okay.
Alright. Mr. McGill is a pillar of society and a gentleman. And a gentleman's word should be sacrosanct. Sacrosanct! Okay, yes.
Croissant.
However, those of us in service know we must accept hard truths.
Wait, what are you about to do?
Dispose of the rubbish.
Fart. No!
I don't wish to cause offense, but I do like to eradicate all traces of filth and grime.
I mean, still. Oh no.
I have painstakingly typed every word uttered here today and cross-referenced all the facts. As such, I am now in a position to draw the only logical conclusion. Dang.
This looks bad. Not again.
We have 2 more jurors who have not cast their vote yet.
Oh
That's
dear.
for our 6 jury members who proposed a guilty verdict. There are only 2 left.
We've had it.
Not yet.
Every time I press these witnesses for more information, I just make the situation worse.
Dang, I keep pressing the R button. Nevertheless, what we need more than anything at the moment is more information. We're still very much in the dark.
I suppose I'll just have to keep pressing the witnesses, knowing the more sparks it will fly.
We mustn't give up hope that we'll uncover something that will give us a way to fight back.
But... Alright. I'll keep trying. I can't give up. I just need to calm. I just need to keep calm and listen to the witnesses' statements again.
We got 1 more to press.
Okay.
This guy.
Alright. What exactly did you see?
Oh, well, sir, that would be the passenger, sir. Yes, collapse on the floor he was. And by the passenger, obviously you're referring to the victim, Mr. Mason the brickmaker.
Hey, wait a minute.
And
Okay.
and then the yes.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, if he's collapsed on the floor, how come he was up there in the seat unless they propped him back up?
I mean, they probably would have had to. And then the other passenger that had the knife in his hand looked like this. The passenger obviously referring to the accused, Mr. Magnus McGilded. And then he plunged it down like this, stabbing the other passenger to the belly.
How would you know that? Weren't you driving? You said you heard a scream and then you stopped and did. I don't know. What? Shut up! Order! Order! It is hard to believe that one of London's greatest philanthropists possesses stabbing indeed.
The law knows no philanthropist, my lord. Only the innocent and the guilty. Good deeds mean nothing when overshadowed by evil. The truth is everything. Couldn't agree more, sir. The truth.
Ah, you butt kisser. Alright, so when it happened, the only two people in the closed cabin area was the victim and the defendant. And, so help me, 3 whole people witnessed the man I'm trying to defend to do the deed.
Awful stacked against us. I don't like to be
Jeez.
pessimistic, but we do seem to be in a rather difficult situation here.
Ugh. What am I supposed to think here? Is Mr. McGilded really innocent? Or could it be?
But before we jump to conclusions, our first task should be to gather information. We need to understand the case much better than we do at the moment.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Let's listen to those statements again, a little more carefully this time.
We now have another thing we needed to press on, which would be either the first statement or the second statement. Which, considering the way you're questioning how Beppo was even able to even, like, look at all this...
Yeah. Hey, so you had a few customers. Yeah, how would you been able to see? Yes, I think it was sometime after 10, wasn't it?
Oh, yes, sir. That's right, sir. Yes. Ever so cold it was, sir. Freezing, in fact.
You had 4 passengers on board at the time. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right, sir. Not all traveling the same parts of the bus, of course, though. No.
And there were no passengers when the incident took place. No one alighted, for example.
You're quite right with that, sir. No other passengers like that. No, none.
So nobody fled the scene of the crime then?
I have to say, the boss insists on it running, he does. Every evening. That last bus of the day. Oh. But I do wonder sometimes if it's altogether worthwhile. Yes, sorry to say.
What do you mean by that?
Well, with it being so cold and everything, and only making 20 pence on the run, you see. Yes, I spend that much at the pub on the way home just trying to warm up again. I just can't believe it, sir. Can't believe it. A murder on my own bus. It's too awful to think about. I haven't been able to shake this cold ever since it happened.
Oh, my lord, I wish to speak. Yes, drawer number 5. Do I take it that you too? The master of the London Guild of Coachmen. The idea of murder being committed in one of the city's carriages is utterly abhorrent to me. It wouldn't be right to make a decision before hearing all the facts, though, I said to myself.
So now he thinks he's heard them all.
I think I've heard enough now. The horse has bolted, as they say. No, please, just keep it open wide a little long. Get up now, silver blaze, the finish is in sight.
We have one juror left.
Bethel is a long-standing member of the guild, and I trust what the man says.
But I won't give him a raise. Oh, thank you, sir. You're too kind, sir.
This is too unkind, sir.
Which now means that 5 jurors agreed to condemn this man. And so the old lady left.
Oh, lady, please. I beg you.
Madam Juror number 6.
Yes, dear? What can I do for you?
You have heard the testimonies of the witnesses in the stand.
Oh, yes, I certainly have. Still got my hearing, you know. I can barely hear you with your whispery, raspy voice.
Deal with it.
What?
Nothing. Then, pray tell, why are you to pronounce your leaning?
Well, dear, the thing is, I'm a creature of habit, me. I always go to the park at around this time of day and sit on a nice bench and get on with my knitting.
Okay.
There's a lovely little park. Excuse you. There's a lovely little park near just where I live. McGilded Park, it's called. The gentleman donated to the city, you know, to put a smile on under's faces, he said. I can't imagine such a fine young gentleman would have it in him to take another man's life.
See? Makes sense.
He's always doing wonderful things for the city.
That's right, a man like that wouldn't stab someone, surely.
Mother, maybe go to the McGillivray Public Library to borrow some more books.
How many Londoners live with their heads in the clouds? Do you people not know? What kind of man Magnus McGilded really is?
What kind of man is he?
The philanthropist Magnus McGilded has enough wealth to purchase the entire city he claims to value so highly. But where did all that wealth come from? Your client is a Shylock, sir, and one of the very darkest of souls.
What?
Stone the Cros!
McGilded lends money at extortionate rates of interest so his victims have no hope of repaying him. When they default, he takes possession of everything they own. He is a vulture that preys on the weak. A vulture is far worse than an owl, I'm sure even she would agree.
How would you know this?
I never heard any mention of that before.
Your faculties haven't deserted you, I'm sure, madam. So has this thought not crossed your mind? Would a man wealthy enough to buy London in its entirety not have a carriage of his own?
Huh? What?
What possible reason could this man have had to make use of a public omnibus service?
You're not saying that.
The victim, a poor brickmaker, had next to nothing to his name, save considerable financial liability. It will come as no surprise that his creditor was the accused, Magnus McGilded. But let it also be known that the very day Mr. Mason was killed was the final repayment date for his debts.
Good gracious!
The brickmaker was destitute. He had lost his house. He had not a shilling with which to repay his debts. And in the end, this pitiful soul had the very last thing he owned taken from him. His life. By the merciless philanthropist pretender, Magnus McGilded.
I don't believe it.
If I might add something briefly.
Mrs. Otto?
You claim the victim had been lent money by Mr. McGilded. But where is the evidence to support your claim?
Is that blood?
It's wine.
It looks like blood.
He's not a vampire, despite how pale he may look for it.
Okay.
Pray forgive
Darn.
the discourtesy of filling my hallowed chalice in a court of law.
Aha, there it is! Lord Von Sykes' hollow chalice. Now, this be considered acceptable.
Oh, just wait till later games where prosecutors do whatever the frick they want.
Jeez.
When I find myself in unexpectedly good humor. I had heard ladies from the Far East could show great courage. I didn't expect to experience it myself.
Ah! As judicial assistant to the defense, I'm simply doing my job.
What a pity that your display of courage is in vain. This is the debtor's ledger, which details all monies loaned by the accused. You will find the victim's name clearly recorded inside.
Oh.
Allow me to present this ledger as evidence. And pray forgive the discourtesy of raising my chalice and toast to the enigmatic East at the same time.
Oh, a marvelous toast, Counsel. I will gladly accept this new evidence. Can I lick your boots a little more?
Oh, please do.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's the good taste. 20 guineas. Victim owed a considerable sum.
Hold it, Judge. Let's look through the ledger.
Oh, fine.
Nothing suspicious on the outside.
This portfolio must contain all sorts of secrets in London's, gentry?
Yep. Oh dear. Do we think we ought to look inside? I mean, it is in the court records, so...
We can. Well, it's not as though we know of any of London's gentry personally, is it? Apart from our great detective friend, perhaps. Actually, I wonder.
I assure you, we will not find Mr. Sholmes' name inside.
Well, let's see what we find. Okay. I can't read a lick.
Gosh, it's crammed full of gentlemen's names, isn't it?
Well, I suppose it's probably not all gentlemen. Oh, are they? After all, not everyone in this country is well off. I get that.
Goodness!
What is it?
Look at this! Do you see the name here?
Bruce Fairplay.
Ah.
Does that mean something to me? It does sound strangely familiar, actually.
That's our second witness. Bruce Fairplay, the witness testifying this very moment.
Oh, yes, of course, the banker. Why is his name in here? Ah, he parted 20 guineas, did he? And look, their payment date is fast approaching.
It's possible this is just a coincidence, of course. This could be very useful information.
I think it might be.
And now we have updated the debtor's ledger. And I think that's all that's left there.
Okay.
And the accused made quite certain he had ample recompense.
No.
Well, it would seem I've had the wool pulled over my own eyes.
Regrettably, madam, this is the modus operandi of the accused.
And it's such a pretty little pork, too. What a scoundrel. Oh, no.
Don't.
Still, maybe it's all for the best.
Wait a minute. Let's think about this a little more
I
before...
don't stand for nonsense.
This is bad. What the freak? What are we supposed to do? That was it. The last surest decision.
According to this Encyclopedia of British Law, when all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended, and the presiding judge will deliver the final verdict and sentence. That's what it says here.
The final verdict. It's over then.
Oh! There's footnote, though.
A footnote?
However, the defense...
6 members of the jury are now in agreement in this case.
Allow me to convey my respect for your swift and righteous decision.
According to the laws of the country, I will now conclude the trial. By delivering my final verdict, I trust there are no objections. Yeah, there is a... Ryunosuke! Mrs. Sato, just tell me one thing.
Oh, yes?
You were in the middle of saying something before. The footnote in your Encyclopedia of British Law. However, the defense... What did it say next?
Oh, yes, of course. One moment. When all members of the jury have concluded the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended and the presiding judge will give the final verdict and sentence. Then the footnote says, however, the defense has the right to demand a summation examination of the jurors at this point. And there's our ticket out.
A summation examination?
Objection!
A summation examination, from which centuries that tome you have there been resurrected. Ah! Judging from the binding, I would say that book is at least 50 years old. Any modern text on British law wouldn't have even given such an antiquated procedure a mention. It's a relic, long forgotten and certainly no longer practiced. So you're out of luck. Oh.
What even is it, Mr. Sato? The so-called summation examination.
Oh, one moment, and I'll read about it. You would demand the right to a procedure before you even understand what it entails? Typical Nipponese. Alright, Mr. Naruhodo, I think I understand. It seems that under this procedure, we would be able to appeal to the members of the jury.
To do what exactly?
Appeal them to change their leaning and reverse their decisions. And it says here that, if successful, the proceedings of the trial must be resumed.
They reverse their decisions. Yes, in times gone by, the barristers would use the summation examination to attempt to influence the jury's decision. But that procedure became something of a formality with no practical benefit, really, so it rather fell out of use.
I wonder why. Because it was devoid of purpose. Changing just one member of the jury's mind would be hard enough, let alone several. No self-respecting defense barrister would even assert his right to try in this day and age. Still, I don't see any mention of the procedure actually being formally revoked. What are you suggesting? I'm suggesting that although it may be antiquated and largely forgotten, it isn't yet extinct. What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo?
A summation examination, our possible option. Do we assert our right to carry it out? Or, of course we do. Assert the right.
Do we just give up, or do we keep trying?
Jeez. The defense wishes to assert its right to a summation examination, my lord.
Objection!
London is the capital city, the most powerful nation on Earth. We have a duty to the world to exemplify the very highest standards of judicial procedure. Summation examinations are an embarrassment that should remain buried.
Objection!
You should be buried.
You're probably right.
But if it's our right. It's our right. I believe it could prove vital to this trial.
You right.
The defense petition is perfectly valid. I too am a relic. The court will proceed to
I too
summation
should probably be buried.
But I'm still here.
This is madness.
Woman, are you and the remainder of the jury ready? Eh? I'm no. There was no mention of this in the letter I received, you see, so. All members of the jury will be asked to explain on what grounds they have reached their decision. On what grounds? You must all justify your decision and explain why you believe the defendant to be guilty. Well, my lord, you're rather putting us on the spot.
This is most irregular. No mention was made of this before.
Oh, okay, I don't really hold with all this justifying lock. That seems to have thrown the jurors off.
It seems none of them experienced this before.
Alright then. This amazing examination. A defense procedure no practicing lawyer has attempted for years, is it? Well, just maybe. It might be the opportunity we've been looking for to turn this trial around. So be it then. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the court hereby calls upon you to state the grounds on which you find the defendant Magnus guilty in this most serious crime.
Here we go. The jurors' contentions.
There was no one inside the carriage at the time, so it had to have been him.
I trust the driver. He has an excellent memory, it seems. 4 passengers, with fares totaling 20 pence.
He stuck the chap next to him just like this. Brazen, I must say. Absolutely brazen.
I have simply typed and collated all the statements made thus far, and drawn the logical conclusion.
You can trust the guild. Fair is our motto. We haven't raised prices above 4 pence for years.
This scoundrel stabbing that poor man on the floor. It beggars It beggars? Wow, okay, English. Old words. It beggars
Wow.
belief.
I'm starting to wish I hadn't pushed for this now.
Some of the jurors don't seem to have wonderfully formed arguments, though, do they?
Not really. They just kind of seem to talking out of their butts. Well, let's see what we can do. We need to get these 6 people to change their minds. I have to throw everything I can at them, and use some very persuasive language. Like, dude.
Just a moment, Mr. Naruhodo. Dude isn't a word yet.
Oh, darn.
According to my book, that's not quite how it works.
You can't use dude? Oh,
I'm afraid
I thought
not.
I was gonna thaw their icy minds with some heartwarming rhetoric about the defendant.
Unfortunately, once the jurors have decided the defendant is guilty, they're unlikely to heed anything the defense says.
But then,
They've reached their conclusions by their own reasoning, you see. Your pleas will sound like excuses. In fact, I could recoil on you. Oh, it could, not I could. Good night. In fact,
Don't
it could
recoil on me.
recoil on you. The more you try to persuade them, the more entrenched they may become.
then what on earth am I supposed to do?
Dear, I'm just saying what I've read about British law, Mr. Naruhodo.
Right, I'm sorry. Do you have any idea how to make this work then?
Well, from what I can understand, the key to this procedure is using the jurors' own words to make your arguments.
What do you mean?
Well, the 6 members of the jury are randomly selected members of the public. They may appear to present a united front, but the truth is, they are complete strangers who just happen to find themselves here in the courtroom together.
And that's the way to break them down, you mean?
Yes, exactly. We must listen very carefully to what each member of the jury says, and see if we can identify any contradictory statements. If we can, we then contrast the statements and pit the corresponding jurors against each other.
I see. Those contradictions in what 2 or more jurors say that we're looking for. In a way, then, this is similar to a regular cross-examination.
Oh, yes, I suppose you're right.
Find contradictions in their statements and pit the jurors against one another to break them down. Alright, I might be able to pull this off. No, that's not right. I have to pull this off. Can we start proceedings, counsel? I would ask you to take the stand for this. I'm expecting a clear and concise rebuttal. Yes, my lord.
He said, but. I mean,
Very funny. Ooh, jury examination.
Yep. Okay, so. I will
Okay.
give you a hint as to the first thing we're supposed to do.
Okay.
We have to pit this juror, number 2, against another juror, and it is not going to be against him. So, her
Okay.
against either 3, 4, 5, or 6. So look at her statement.
Okay, I trust the driver. He has excellent memory. It seems 4 passengers with fares totaling 20 pence. Okay.
So we're gonna go ahead and hit pit. So look at juror number 3 statement at the top.
Let's see, better than absolutely. Okay, go to the next one. So be topical. I'll stay as that's for a logical conclusion. Probably not her. Oh, maybe that guy.
Okay, but why this guy?
Well, because he said they only charged 4 pence for the ride, right?
Right. Yeah.
But there was only 4 passengers, so that will only equal like 16.
Wait, you're saying 4
Okay.
times 4 doesn't equal 20?
Yeah, it sure doesn't. Those two statements clearly contradict each other. They do? Explain yourself, Counsel.
Me? Oh dear, what have I said?
I swear on Silver Blaze's maiden name, I haven't the first idea what you're talking about. According to the group testimony we've heard so far, there were 4 passengers in the omnibus on the night in question, and according to the coachman, Mr. Beppo, he took 20 pence in fares.
Quite right. Those precise details typed neatly here in front of me.
And juror number 5 also told us the following: the fare for the omnibus is always 4 pence. That it is a fair and convenient single price, just the way London's carriages should be operated.
So did Beppo overcharge?
He must have, but that doesn't add up at all.
Or maybe...
There must have been another person aboard.
Yeah, because 4 times 5 is 20.
Yeah. In fact, at least... Oh.
Hold on.
In fact, at least a glaring discrepancy in the facts. Why, man? Why? 4 passengers paying 4 pence each. If you do the multiplication...
It would be 16 pence.
Exactly. As I said, it doesn't add up. The figures are different. By 4 pence, in fact. Or precisely 1 person's fare.
So now we have a mysterious 5th person who is not
Who is it, though?
accounted for.
1 person's fare? Yes! In other words, on the omnibus that night, it's distinctly possible there was another passenger we've heard nothing about. Good gracious! This can't be right! The coachman and the guild are good, honest men, one and all. Trustworthiness is our watchword.
Hey, Beppo, who's that 5th person you picked up?
Yeah, who was it?
The
Did you
figures
take
your
that money
coachman
and hide it?
claims most certainly do not add up. Your watchword, good sir, is a fallacy.
I beg your pardon.
No need to beg.
I'll make that point later. Miss Guildmaster, I think you ought to consider if this trial were to end now. The news would surely spread all over London. The news that one of your coachmen tried to hide the fact that he lets nefarious characters ride his omnibus. Oh! Alright then. How do I make it so this miserable trial doesn't end?
How about saying he's not guilty?
Yeah, why don't you retract your judgment?
Well, according to my book here, you simply launch a ball of fire into the innocent side of the set of scales.
Hold on, sister coachman. We're all in agreement. Why do you have to go and... Wait till I get my hands on you, Beppo.
Oh no!
That's that mustache clean off your face.
Oh no!
Ah! This is all very irritating.
Begging your pardon, sir, I'm going to do the same. Alright. We're making some headway.
We're doing it. For the love of Mike, not you as well.
A penny can be the difference between a smile and a tear, after all. I certainly can't put my trust in someone who doesn't follow my exact standards in financial matters.
Oh, really?
I, for one, think it's only proper that we hear from the witness again. The witnesses. Well, my bad. Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo, you did it! If we can manage to change 2 more jurors' minds, we can force the trial to continue.
2 more. Actually. There is something else that's bothering me about a couple of their assertions.
Then that's where you must strike next.
So I need to pit 2 more jurors against each other and show that there's another contradiction in their assertions.
Exactly. You can do it.
Well, the scales of justice have been shifted, but they're still way heavy on the side of guilt. Counsel, you have the floor again. Continue your summation examination. Ooh, this is truly well exciting.
Alright, so now jurors 2 and 5 are no longer a part of the equation.
Ah, okay.
So
So
your
we
next-
don't have to deal with them anymore.
Yeah, so your next hint will be dealing with this guy's statement. So something is
Okay.
wrong between what this guy says and someone else. So either juror 1, 4, or 6. So,
Okay. Hey, wait a minute. Hold on real quick.
yo.
Hold on. Let me see. Oh, blooming heck, it's raining. Okay, let's keep going. Let's see.
So
we need
juror
to
number
pit
3
him
statement is
against
on the
someone
bottom
else.
there. Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. There's no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it must have been him.
So that's what juror
So
number
the
1 is saying. Juror number 3
Okay,
says
so-
that he stuck him.
Okay, so probably not juror number 1. Let's see what the other one is. Okay, no, probably not her. The scoundrel stabbed the poor man on the floor. It beggars belief.
Hold on, on the floor?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, when they took the picture, he was in the chair.
So something
never
doesn't add
fell
up
to the
between
floor.
these two.
Yeah, because if he was on the floor, the blood would have been on the floor. So he's got it. He's got to know something then. Those 2 statements are completely contradictory. What? Explain, Constable, post haste.
Oh, dearie me. I was only knitting a jumper for my other half.
With all of this claptrap, what does contradictory even mean, I ask you?
Wow, you don't know?
No. I never went to school. We've heard from one or more than one witness that they allegedly saw the actual moment when the defendant stabbed the victim. Now, out of curiosity, juror number 3. What? Can't you say I'm busy here? Well, stop playing with that knife. Maybe you wouldn't get it stuck on the desk. How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim? What sort of motion was it? Ah! Want to test me, do you? It was like this. Looked the fella next to him without even getting up. Just like a prim banker said. Yes, that's what Mr. Fairplay testimony. Quite sure. Now then, juror number 6.
Oh, is that me, is it? What can I do for you, young man?
How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim, madam?
Oh, well, dear, as far as I understand it, it was like this. He stabbed the poor man after he'd collapsed on the floor. The coachman said so.
Now don't move! Oh, you can move a little bit late. I know your bones aren't what they used to be. Take a look at the 2 jurors. He stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up. And he stabbed the poor man after he collapsed on the floor. Well, I never. They're stabbing in totally different directions. What the flip?
Bless my stitches, what a muddle!
You have no idea what you're talking about. What this tells us is that there's a strong possibility of one of the witnesses isn't telling the truth.
Oh,
But why? Why the dickens would they lie? I don't know that yet. But what I do know is that this trial ends at this point. We may never find out. We may never know the real truth. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, Can you really let that happen in all good conscience?
Lies, you say? Oh, dearie me. I can't abide people telling lies.
Yes.
They're back to even.
The scales.
I don't believe it. Wait! Now hear this, my fellow jurors. I warn you, you cannot listen to this man. Why are you trying so hard not to get them to listen to me? Look at him in his black suit. You're wearing a black undershirt thing. So he's clearly some devious Eastern sorcerer using magic on all of us. What? If I could use magic, do you really think I'd be putting myself through all this? Answer me this, Dark Jinx. Me? Ooh, Dark Jinx, I might have to use that. What exactly is the problem? What of it if two witnesses have slightly different recollections of events? What of it? Let's say the Shylock did stab the victim when he sat next to him on the omnibus. And this young daddy saw him do it. And now let's say the victim collapsed on the floor. And then the Shylock stabbed him again. And this old lady saw him do it. Well, what's to say it didn't happen like that, Who are you calling dandy, sir? Why, I should take this knife to you.
Who are you calling old? Why, I should take this needle to you.
They're ready to kill each other now. Well, that's not my intention.
Good.
No, not the sweet old lady. But could the foreman of the jury be right? Could the two witnesses see two different moments of the same crime? No, because we would have saw it on the floor too, right? Unfortunately, Mr. Foreman. What is it, you Dark Jinx? Come out! Come on, out with it! I'm not Dark Jinx. What you're suggesting is impossible. It's out of the question. What are you talking about, man? How could you possibly say that? You do realize that I'm only doing my job. As foreman of the jury, I have a responsibility to steer everyone in the right direction. So where's your evidence, man? That's what I want to see. I say there's two witnesses to two different moments of the same crime. If you say that's out of the question, show me some proof. Looks like the only way I'm going to convince him is to present him with something that he can't dismiss. Some irrefutable hard evidence. As you wish. What? I'll give you the proof. It's out of the question that these two witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime, as proven by the picture, right?
Nope, it is not the picture.
Oh, the autopsy
How many
report.
times was he stabbed?
He was only stabbed once. Yeah, so there's no reason he could.
In fact, there's no possible way he could have stabbed him a second time.
There was no other stab wound. According to what's written here, Mr. Mason was stabbed in the abdomen. Only once. Only once! Yeah, you dumb stupid... Oh my gosh, I cannot with this. It's quite simple. The victim was stabbed precisely one time. Which means these witnesses can't possibly have seen it happen two different times. Alright, I can see defeat.
Alright.
Yeah, suck on that.
We now have a 4-2 advantage.
Wait, that means...
That means you did it, Ryunosuke.
4 jurors are now leaning to not guilty.
We're better than when we started.
We've done it, Mr. Naruhodo.
We've won!
What are you playing at, you dandy fool? Shut your trap, sir. No one deceives me. But we had a consensus. I said shut your trap. I know a liar when I see one. And if the chap ever dares to cross the threshold of my shop, I'll take this razor blade and shave every last hair off his head. Please tell me he's a barber. Whoa, and quite a remarkable turn of events. The defense summation examination has flipped the balance of the scales of justice.
I'm sure Von Zeicht will be absolutely thrilled with this development.
Oh look, he's smiling at you.
He's
The
smiling
jurors-
upside down.
Look at him. He's such a jolly fellow. The jurors now stand at 2 of guilty and 4 of not guilty. Accordingly, there is no longer a large enough majority among the jury for me to educate in the trial.
Adjudicate? Is that the word? What? I think it's adjudicate. That's a weird word that is not used anymore.
Yeah, I've not heard of that word at all. Adjudicate, and the trial must continue.
I hate this.
Shut up! I hereby ask the defense, prosecution, and witness to return to their places. And I call upon all of you to continue to pursue the truth. I'm quite old. So, Lord Von Scheiks, continue to
Substantiate.
Oh, substantiate. Good grief, thanks. The case for the prosecution, if you please. Ooh, that looks delicious. Can I have some?
No.
Oh.
Oh.
Whoa.
Having savored the rich aroma of the carmine contents of this hallowed chalice, it may seem crass to crush it to dust. Pray forgive the discourtesy.
Lord Von Scheiks! Is it cold in here? Or is it just me?
As your antiquated tone no doubt says, the prosecution may not speak during a summation examination. So I honored a deathly silence and listened to the charade. It seems I overestimated the intelligence of the jury. They're all
That's
stupid.
mean.
Well, no matter. There's nothing so hard to prove as a self-evident truth, it would seem. No. And why else would we grace a court with our presence after all? So, let us proceed to the next round of battle. Oh!
Cool.
Bring forth the witnesses once more. Witnesses, I trust you heard the summation examination we have just had to endure.
Oh, yes, sir, that I did, sir.
Oh, I forgot about Cold, man. Of course I had it.
Oh, yes, sir, I heard it.
You saw on the end, the coachman. I believe it's Beppo.
Yes, sir, my lord, sir.
Why's your name Beppo? That doesn't sound like a real name.
I'm not really sure whether there's a pun in there or not. I don't get it.
Me neither. Anyway, if it transpires that in your previous testimony, you are attempting to veil the presence of a fifth person on your omnibus, you will be found guilty of perjury. You are advised to bear that in mind, sir.
I wish I knew what that last word meant. Oh, mio Dio. Oh.
Why is he
Dio.
using Italian?
Is he Italian?
I don't think
I thought he
Beppo's
was
Italian, but Dios mio or mio Dio, that's my god. You know, like, oh
Yeah.
my god, like, oh Dios mio,
Yeah.
but, like...
That's That's weird.
Anyway.
I didn't know that vampire was here. I thought we had the one.
I thought you were talking about the guitarist.
Now then, witnesses, I hereby call on you to testify before the court again. You will explain the various misgivings brought to our attention by the defense's summation examination.
Alright.
Now, well, I don't know what's happening. Alright.
I only carried for 4 passengers that night. I swear it. But
Well, I, for one, was told I had to pay 5 pence for the bus.
Huh.
Why?
So, did
Why you?
Beppo charge him 1 pence more? Because each fare is about 4. He filled us on the fare, he did. And then I saw that blood careless site as well. It's all 5 to... If he charged everyone 5 and kept a 5th person hidden, that would cover the 20.
That is true.
So he was hiding this person. Otherwise, unless he wanted to, like, just have somebody in his pocket extra, which case, that is illegal in his job profession, but it could be either way.
Yeah, you can't hide that sort of stuff. Oh. I tell you, I saw McGillet stabbing that man. Everything I said before stands.
Oh, yes.
Waluigi.
Yes, he stabbed him. Yes, he did. I think so. Yes.
You think? You can't say you think you saw something.
So,
That's why you put
pretty much
innocent men in
everyone
jail.
but Beppo had good testimony. Beppo's like, I don't know, man. I'm just barely even here.
Yeah, he's just trying to warm himself up.
really
That's
is.
understandable.
He can jump in the fires then.
Counsel, make sense of this for me, please.
The phantom 5th passenger conjured into existence by my learned Eastern friend never existed. The confusion has arisen from the coachman's sly little cozenage.
Beppo, explain yourself.
I'm terribly sorry, Guildmaster.
The guild's fare is 4 pence across the board, you know that. Am I to understand that you've been overcharging for passengers by a penny a fare?
It's so cold, and the last run of the day is always half empty.
You have been dishonest, coachman.
I'm sorry.
You're a disgrace, Beppo, a disgrace. And your selfish actions have brought dishonor on the entire guild.
If I may, sir, I had to pay 10 pence on the bus just last week. Wow.
Whoa. What?
4 passengers at 5 pence each is, yes, 20 pence. I've done the arithmetic 10 times already, but I just can't make the result come out differently.
No, that figures. Naughty. Well, it would appear that one of the aforementioned misgivings has already been explained. So, counsel for the defense, your cross-examination, if you please.
We've already had the pleasure of protracted summation examination today. I see you intend to continue the parlor games.
What games? Absolutely. Time to question Waluigi again.
That's right. So,
Okay.
So there is a statement, and I'll give you a hint. It is one of Beppo's statements that we need to press.
Okay. So, probably not this one?
Okay.
Maybe not? Okay, you don't need to hear that. Okay.
Here's the other one.
Okay, yes, he stabbed him. Yes, he did. I think so, yes. Maybe this one. Because he's
reasoning.
he is fumbling all over those words like, yeah, he stabbed him, he sure did.
Exactly. He's like, yeah, you stabbed him? Maybe. Like,
you're not sure of that.
Yeah.
Earlier, you testified that saw the moment when the defendant allegedly stabbed the victim, didn't you?
I forgot he said that.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
But
Yes, that's right.
how would you be able to, though? You said that the victim was on the floor, and described the assailant holding the knife in an ice pick grip.
I suppose I might have, you know, yes, put the cart before the horse, maybe.
Maybe.
What's this?
Well, I'm quite sure about most of it. I was driving the horse when I heard a scream from the seats on the roof deck.
Oh, I expect that was me, sir.
And when I turned around, yes, I saw it through the skylight. The gentleman was on the floor, and the knife was sticking up out of his midriff. That's right, yes. And the fellow holding the handle was a famous man. Yes, wow, this voice is getting irritating.
Get a hold of yourself. So in short.
Oh no, it's Spring to Ryunosuke too.
Oh no, you didn't see the.
It's so cold in here.
You need to sit by a lantern, sir. You didn't see the moment when the victim was actually stabbed at all.
Precisely.
I guess
Of course
not.
you did it. Like, how in the world would you be able to hop up there, run over there, and actually see, like, the moment you did that?
The only thing you
have,
could
like,
see would
psychic
be the
vision.
aftermath.
Yeah, and we already established that he wasn't, like, stabbed on the floor either, so,
I really thought I did, but when I could go over it again in my head, no, I suppose I didn't actually see the precise moment of the stabbing, did it? Oh!
Oh, hey. Do you have something to say about that, Mr. Fairplay?
Now you listen to me. Wah, I know what you're thinking.
Oh no! English Waluigi!
Yeah. He ain't really see the exact moment that fellow was stabbed. What was the chances of that?
I like how his voice has gone from like kind of normal to just Waluigi.
Yeah, I might as well give it to
Yeah,
him.
might as well.
Are you asking me or telling me? He's getting flustered. I might be able to extract some new information from him if I answer him cleverly. Could he have just happened to see the exact moment the crime was committed?
What do you think? Remember, he was on top with Mr. Top Hat. He was not in the same area with the stabbing.
Yeah, so like even if he did hear like him scream out, he wouldn't be able to see like the exact moment.
I like how the bottom answer is some days are like that. Like it do be like that though. It's just like same vibes.
I mean, that's how the stabbing goes sometimes, you know. Sometimes you see it, sometimes you miss it.
So what do you think? Is it no chance
Yeah,
he
no
saw it, or some days like that?
No chance. I don't think so. You probably wouldn't have been paying attention to it anyway.
Exactly.
Until you heard it. Well, it is a little hard to believe, certainly. Unless you spend your time peeping through a skylight on the top of an omnibus, that is.
Wah, keeping. I'm a respectable city banker, I'll have you know. And I know what I saw. I remembered it as clear as a ball rat day. What in the...
English must be an English thing, because like I'm not familiar with it either. It's capitalized, so it must be an important event, but I don't know.
I guess. I don't know.
It was a grim scene, I don't mind telling you.
Man, I can't for Wario to be in this game too. I'm sorry.
If it was in there, that would have been the perfect duo.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Fairplay.
Oh, excuse me, I was getting a little hot under the collar there, my lord.
I would ask you to supplement your testimony with a clear statement about what exactly you saw.
Oh, I can do that, alright. I'll tell you just how grim it was.
Sure you will.
Do you think I'd forget the sight of those blood-soaked hands after the butcher stabbed the man?
Hold on, you stabbed the man? But no. So wait,
Oh,
blood-soaked hands? But
Yes, but he's wearing
But-
gloves, and it's only the one hand. I
so,
don't think you know what you're talking about, sir.
Maybe we should present the gloves there, because
Yeah, that's
he's got something a little
Hold on.
wrong going on.
Hold on a minute. Blood-soaked hands?
Well, I admit that Salt might have been laying it on a little thick, but... But anyway, there was definitely blood all over them. Both of them were covered in it. No, they're not. It's just the one, sir. Well, I'm very sorry to disagree, Mr. Fairplay. But that's more than a little peculiar. What? Here are the gloves worn by the defendant, Mr. McGilded, and I had a question. Ah, yes, right. And there certainly does appear to be a sizable dark color stain there. But, as I'm sure you can clearly see, it's only on the right-hand glove.
Ooh.
In short, Mr. Fairplay, your testimony is inconsistent. Yeah. But, no, that can't be right.
So you're the liar here then?
Kill him. Yeah. Don't eat your rod. That's right. You're quite clear about it. You said, here, it was both hands. Dude, stop biting your staff. Mr. Fairplay, you're gonna lose your teeth if you keep doing that. It calls your entire testimony into question. You say you saw the moment the victim was stabbed. But is that really the truth?
Obviously, no.
Mamma mia.
It was a simple mistake. You can't justify accusing this man of lying.
Sure you can.
Yes, it wasn't both hands, it was only one. But the fact remains. The victim's blood was on the accused.
Objection!
But was he wearing gloves that night, though? No, Mr. Fairplay categorically stated that he saw blood all over both hands, which means there's a strong possibility that this witness was deliberately trying to mislead the court. Yeah! Why? I'm a city banker, for pity's sake. My word should be the gold standard. I'm a gentleman, not some gutter snipe. Gutter snipe?
Yeah.
Upstanding members of society don't... How do you pronounce
prevaricate?
Prevaricate?
Yeah, so many older words that are just aren't not used anymore. Much more difficult.
Oh. Yeah, that's touched to my tongue. He's claimed to have no reason to lie. Is that really the case?
Mr. Naruhodo, if we had some evidence to explain why Mr. Fairplay might be lying, it could turn the tide in this. Really? Dang. Okay. Yeah. Well then,
something that shows this man's compelling reason to lie in his testimony. Yeah, there is evidence.
Okay. Tell me then.
Because, yeah, that it's not a ledger, but you know, Mr. Fairplay owed something to
You were right on that, man.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a guide so I could figure out, but I completely forgot about that entirely.
Yeah, because we were looking back through and I was like, oh yeah, we should probably keep that in mind. That might be. My lord. Yes, counsel. The defense is ready to present evidence. By Jove, are you sure? Yes, evidence that will clearly demonstrate why Mr. Fairplay had his reason to lie in his testimony. Yeah. Ooh, very well. I hereby call on the defense to present its evidence. The evidence that demonstrates a motive for the witness's alleged deception of the court.
Well, you got it. All in one.
Yeah, take that. This is a list of the debtors who owe money to Mr. McGilded.
Yes, a list of innocent victims, crippled by the accused's extortion.
The point is, among the names of the debtors is your name, Mr. Bruce Fairplay. What? Mr. Fairplay, are you currently indebted financially to the accused? No, well, it's barely worth being called a debt. According to this ledger, you owe 20 guineas. Not an inconsiderable sum of money, wouldn't you say?
We get this guy accused, get him murdered, and I'm off the hook. Oof.
well, what of it?
I'm starting to think he is a gutter snipe.
He is. The worst kind.
Let's suppose Mr. McGilda were to be found guilty of murder. What will become of your debt in that case?
These documents state that the loan agreement is forged between two individual parties. Therefore, were the creditor, the defendant here, to be sentenced to a capital punishment, all outstanding debts which were owed to him would be annulled. They would cease to exist.
How convenient for Mr. whatever his name is, Waluigi.
Yeah.
Cease to
Yeah.
exist.
Wow.
Fair play. Bruce Waluigi fair play.
Mr. Fairplay, is it not the case that you claimed in your testimony to have seen something you never in fact saw?
I guess Bruce wasn't playing fair, was he?
Nah. His name should be false play, and a
Ah.
devious attempt to annul your debt of 20 guineas to the defendant?
Yeah.
Shut up! Order! Mr. Bruce Fairplay.
Yes, my lord.
Let me ask you again. And be aware that your answer may have most serious implications upon your future, sir. Did you or did you not see the precise moment in time at which the defendant is alleged to have thrust the knife into the victim?
I don't think he saw it at all.
I think you were just saying it. Your silence speaks volumes. You did not tell the truth in your testimony.
Alright. Now let's not make a melodrama out of this.
Who cares? I want to have a
Perhaps
man
I
killed so I
did.
get rid of my debt. Who cares? Not a big,
Wario,
not a big
Wario,
deal.
too much.
Alright, Wario, too much anyway. I can't make good at having my money too.
No. Perhaps I did overstate the truth of a pinch.
That's one way to say that. You could also say you just friggin' lied.
Yeah. A pinch?
But it makes no difference.
I beg to differ.
Yeah.
I definitely remember seeing blood on Mr. McGildy's hands. Both of them.
Okay, that's
That's
worrying.
still weird, though.
Objection!
And yet, only one of the defendant's clothes, which we have here as evidence, is stained.
Grr. So you keep saying.
He's very insistent upon this.
Yeah, looks like...
I wonder if I might be allowed to speak, sir.
Go ahead, Mr. First.
Well, the thing is, I think I remember seeing it myself, as it happens.
Seeing what?
The blood, sir, on the assailant's hands. That's two people who are very... Huh. I think...
Yeah.
Yes, I'm almost sure that it was on both of his hands, not just one.
What?
What?
It would appear that we're going to need further testimony from all your witnesses. This time, I would like to know precisely what you did and what you did not say. Do I make myself perfectly clear? No lying.
Yarr.
Mr. Naruhodo, this is good news. The course of the trial seems to have slightly shifted at last.
Yes! I might finally have a chance to turn things around here.
Okay.
So what did you, or did you not see then?
There was blood on both of the hands of the assailant. I sincerely and distinctly remember that. However, I suppose you might say that I didn't see the exact moment the stabbing transpired, if that matters.
So, what they're saying is they basically saw the aftermath almost as soon as the stabbing was done of McGilded's two hands being bloody. They did not see the stabbing. That's weird.
Yeah.
I remember seeing the knife, and I remember seeing both of the attackers' hands with blood on them. I didn't actually see anything myself. No, not until I heard that scream. My testimony doesn't matter, honestly.
Yeah, you can get out.
Anyway, the fact remains, there can't have been anyone else inside that carriage, or we all would have seen.
I'm not sure about that.
I don't know.
Remember
Something
the
smells
inside of the
rotten in
cart?
court.
Yeah. That still doesn't make any sense.
Well, lo and behold. In truth of fact, not one of you was witness to the crucial moment the crime was perpetrated.
I apologize, my lord. But honestly, there's no one else inside the carriage, and the man's hands were covered in blood.
Yeah, but someone could have just dipped his hands in there.
That's that much incriminating evidence is tantamount to saying we saw the man do it.
That's really not what testimony is about.
Let us examine the interior of the omnibus once more.
Okay.
The victim's fresh blood is clearly visible on the seat, corroborating the witness's accounts.
Okay.
In other words, there is no substantial, nor significant, change in the facts of the case.
Very well. Your cross-examination, please, counsel.
Yes, my lord.
Alright. We still don't have evidence. We do not have the evidence to present on anything, so we must start pressing.
Okay.
I will tell you immediately, Beppo's really does not matter here. Like, he is not even a player right now. So.
Okay. So there's blood on both hands of the assailant. However, I suppose you say I didn't see the exact move. Yeah, that does matter. You do need to see that. I remember seeing the knife, and I remember seeing both the attacker's hands with blood on it. So maybe we could press on that one, maybe?
Well, okay. So I will say we got the same kind of statement from First and from Fair Play on that. So they both are saying the same thing on this.
Yeah.
So more than likely, they'd just be saying the same thing if we pressed on those statements.
Okay.
Yeah.
So would it be the last thing that Fair Play said then?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because there has to have been a fifth person. Because nothing lines up.
Hold it!
Yeah. And everything you saw of the incident was through the skylight on the roof of the omnibus?
That's right. It was fiercely cold that night, but the glass wasn't frosted over.
Oh yes, I remember I was shivering. It was so bitter.
Okay.
Which rather begs the question of why the pair of you were sitting on the roof deck in the first place.
That is a good question!
That's kinda stupid if you ask me.
Well, I don't know about this young fellow, but I couldn't enter the cabin.
You couldn't?
Why? Oh, why not?
It was locked from the inside. I tried knocking, but no one opened the door.
That's bizarre.
It was locked. But why? Who locked it?
That's right. It's a public bus service for pity's sake. That's not what I call fair play.
Ha ha ha! I get it.
Eh.
Yes, I had exactly the same experience. Oh hey, Viggy's playing.
Yeah,
I tried knocking,
thanks,
but the gent inside just gestured at me to clear off. So I had no choice but to climb up to the roof deck and look down longingly into the warm cabin below.
Well, I can assure you I wasn't just looking down. I was glaring long and hard. And that's precisely why I can tell you with absolute confidence that if there was anyone else at all in that cabin, I would have noticed.
Unequivocal, I would say.
I'm not sure about these two witnesses. Could they really have seen everything inside the cabin through the skylight? They may not have been able to, though. Because still, we looked at from the top of it. We wouldn't have been able to see, like, all of it. Allow me to confirm one thing, Mr. Fairplay. You're riding this omnibus and witnessed the events of the cabin through the skylight and the floor on the upper deck. Is that right?
That's right, yes.
In that case, there's a portion of the cabin interior that would have been out of sight from you.
What?
By golly, really?
I mean, you wrote it, you should know. Obviously, at this stage, we can't say for sure. But the possibility cannot be denied. that at the time of the incident, there could have been another passenger in the enclosed cabin on the omnibus.
Objection!
Enough hypothetical meandering, my Nipponese friend. The prosecution demands that you substantiate your claims. After all, the scene of the crime is here, in the flesh.
Very well. I will uphold the prosecution's demand.
Okay.
You will identify the area of this cross-sectional plan of the omnibus. Okay. Where exactly on the omnibus are you suggesting the potential extra passenger could have been situated?
Well, it could have been inside that trunk we saw.
You're right.
Take that!
Both rows of seats on the roof face in the direction of travel, whereas the seats in the enclosed cabin face each other, which means the visible part of the cabin, which the passenger on the roof deck can see through the skylight, is as I've drawn here. That's right, my lord. As you can see, the seat opposite of the one on the victim and its attacker were sitting is obscured from view.
As you can see, they couldn't.
So you can see, they couldn't see. In other words, if someone had been sitting on that seat, it's quite possible that the witnesses would have been completely unaware of it.
Yeah.
Objection!
Of course.
What?
It's quite possible some phantom was sitting there. You Nipponese have a forbidding habit of obscuring the truth with ambiguity. Why am I so racist to the Japanese? You'll find out, maybe. Probably not.
What? You racist punk? I concur with the prosecution's rejoinder. In a British court of law, evidence is paramount. I cannot entertain this conjecture, counsel. That is, unless you are able to put a name to this mysterious passenger to whom you allude.
Can you, Mr. Naruhodo?
I honestly don't know. What could have been? What could have been? Who could have been on the seat which was out of sight from the witness on the roof deck? I guess we have an inkling, but I'm not entirely sure. I understand, my lord.
I'll tell you, it is not the person who is stabbed, the person they keep claiming who was in there with him.
Ah.
Because as of right now, that could be the only person.
You are a fool. That response was a desperate attempt by a man who has no notion of his own limitations.
I have no limits,
A
I'm saying.
toast to hard lessons not yet learnt.
Let us not delay, counsel. The defense is still to name the passenger on the other seat.
This could be it. This could be the chance I've been waiting for to return this trial in my favor. On that night, on the night of the murder, the person occupying this seat in the omnibus cabin was obscured, but view was...
They didn't actually get to see him.
Ah.
Because the person who was stabbed was in their view. The person who was doing the stabbing, accordingly, was not.
Oh. The passenger in the closed cabin that the witnesses on the roof deck failed to see has to have been Mr. Magnus McGilded.
Mr. McGilded?
What are you talking about, counsel? That's the name of the defendant.
Now the judge knows his names.
Objection!
Dude, stop throwing those glasses!
If I desecrate this chamber by smashing my hallowed chalice, do forgive the discourtesy.
Lord Van Sykes.
People talk of those tiny island nations in the Far East as having a learning and culture of their own. But I see they use the terms ill-advisedly.
What are you trying to say,
You're
you
stupid.
racist? Hey!
Let me explain in terms that even a student of an artless backwater such as yourself might understand.
Jeez, okay.
When the bloody scene unfolded, the victim and his assailant were sitting side by side. Whoops. Multiple
Why didn't you
witnesses
not
have
tell us
attested
this?
to the fact. It's the very premise on which this case is built.
Objection!
Then why didn't you tell us that? But that premise may be wrong.
What?
I mean, you never suspected that. And if the victim really was sitting beside Mr. McGilded, it creates an inconsistency that can't be reconciled in any way.
What inconsistency, counsel?
The defendant's gloves, my lord. Both witnesses made the same testimony. They claimed that the blood was on both hands of the person sitting next to the victim.
Yet we know the truth to be otherwise. Only one glove bears the gory remains.
Objection!
The point is, even in the face of irrefutable evidence, both witnesses have maintained their stance.
Yes, their testimonies remain unchanged.
Exactly. They both adamantly swear that they could clearly I clearly remember seeing the blood on both hands of the assailant. In short, their memory of events is correct, and their testimony reveals the truth.
Ooh.
Oh! It was somebody else sitting beside the victim that night, a third party we have yet to identify. And the victim's blood was on the passenger's hands, both of them.
Objection!
And who was this third party?
Obviously, the true culprit.
Extraordinary. Order! 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 What exactly are you postulating?
Objection!
Quit talking about my postulation.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir.
The defense's postulation is just that. Nothing more than
Ew.
conjecture.
It's nasty.
The witnesses have clearly stated that they saw the accused.
Objection!
No, they didn't say that.
No. But when elaborating on this testimony, Mr. Fairplay said the two of them were wearing hats, and I couldn't exactly make out their faces.
Yes. The tops of their heads were obscured by the roof. I could see the rest of them, though.
But you wouldn't know that, though.
Yes, that's right. Both gents were most certainly hatted. Hatters do tend to notice such things, sir.
True, true.
And what particular styles of hat did the two gentlemen sport, Mr. Phelps?
Sport.
I'm afraid I don't remember.
Hey, you call yourself a hatter?
He's mad!
Mad with hats.
The style of hat makes no difference. There was no third passenger in that cabin.
But you don't know. How can you be sure?
Because if there had been, the accused, Mr. McGilded, would undoubtedly have offered to depose the fact.
But he was sleeping. He wouldn't have known.
Unless, that is, you are proposing an even more preposterous explanation. That the accused failed to even notice the presence of the true culprit in the very cabin in which he traveled. I mean, he would have had to have known one way or the other whether he was asleep before or after.
Unless he made a stop, though, while he was sleeping. But that's the only thing I can think of. He's right. If there was another person traveling in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus, it's inconceivable that Mr. McGilded would have been aware of it.
Order! There is clearly a simple solution to this problem.
Bring the accused, Mr. McGilded, to the stand.
Well, what say you, counsel?
The prosecution objects, my lord.
On what grounds?
Because I'm cool.
Oh, you are cool.
As a suspect, he will have already made a full statement to the police.
But were there some reason why he's unable to speak freely?
Magnus McGill is no uneducated ruffian. If it indeed turns out the man has been withholding information, you can be sure it will have been a most deliberate act.
Counsel for the defense, what is your opinion?
My lord, should we ask Mr. McGill to testify or not? We probably should. Because we need to hear exactly what he knows, too. Yeah.
Because we can't ask the
Yes.
dead.
Nope, certainly can't. Yes, we need to hear what he has to say in order to find out the truth.
Well, not yet, we can't.
Oh, yeah. We don't have that kind of summoning ability. The defense would like to call Mr. McGill to the stand.
In that case, I would like to hear the opinion of the jury.
Yes, I need a little time to consider this.
If you ask me, I think we should hear what Mr. McGilded has to say.
Get the man out here, I say.
It would be utterly illogical not to hear his testimony.
Oh, I completely forgot his voice again.
When something needs doing, get it done.
That was something like it.
When something needs doing, get it done. That's how I run things at the guild.
Hearing what the patron of my favorite little park has to say? Oh yes, that would be lovely.
Yes, the jury says this man must be...
Oh, you must like her or something. Why'd you just look at her like,
Well, it's more of the entire jury's like, yeah, we should. He's like, oh, well, crap.
Ah, okay.
Well, very well. The court will hear the defendant's testimony. Bailiff, show the defendant to the stand at once.
There's like, there's a stand. And Mr. Goes like, oh, thank you. That sure is a stand.
Oh yes, very beautiful, isn't it?
Now, maybe what actually happened that night will finally become clear.
Let proceedings be resumed. Mr. McGilded, have you been listening to the disclosure of the day?
Discourse of the day.
I was gonna say, man, you really read that one differently.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
Geesh.
to be sure I have, my lord.
Now two matters of which the court desires to hear from you. The first is whether or not there was a third party with you in the omnibus cabin, as proposed by the defense. The second is that if such person was indeed present, why did you conceal the fact from the police?
Begad, no! 'Tis not in my nature to hide anything at all. Just answer the questions, please. The truth of the matter is, I've been desperate about this all along. Do I tell yous all to keep me mouth shut?
Tell us what, Mr. McGilded?
The fine fella representing me is absolutely right. In the carriage on the night with myself and the other man, there was another passenger.
It's true?
Aye, and 'twas me who helped the little urchin get away after it all happened.
You...
What?
No, Magnus McGilded. That convenient excuse can't save you now. I'm truly sorry, so I am, Lord Van Zykes. I'm sure you wanted to know why I said nothing when I was taken in by the police. I do be having a very good reason, I assure you.
Which was?
Well, the little child was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, not in any way involved, you see. What? If the police had known the wee one was in there, they'd have assumed she'd done it. They'd have hauled her into this here courtroom, just like myself. I was only trying to spare her that. Young hearts and young minds are easily damaged, my lord.
And who was this young child of whom you speak?
That, I don't know.
You don't know?
Aye, well, the wee teen just happened to be in the carriage that night. I never saw her before or since.
Objection!
We have absolutely no reason to believe this man. The prosecution calls the witness's statements to be disregarded by the court. You know, I wouldn't be surprised. If the urchin isn't here in this courtroom as we speak, listen to the proceedings. I look to my left.
Oh, what? Woo!
Ah,
What
smoke!
happened?
Ah,
Smoke!
fire! There's a fire! Looks like I was trying to get away. After them, it's no use. I can't see through all the smoke. The Starlight Ball's going too fast.
What is going on?
Be careful, Mr. Naruhodo. Cover your face.
Bailiff, don't let the accused escape. Secure the omnibus.
I hereby call an emergency recess. Bailiff, ensure the defendant is in custody and clear the courtroom.
What happened? We were hurriedly removed from the smoke-filled courtroom by the bailiff. Amid the scenes of chaos, as people stumble over one another in desperation to flee the chamber, we had no idea what was happening. All we knew was that, for the time being at least, the trial was suspended.
And there will have to be where this portion ends. So thank you all
Jeez
so much for
Louise.
watching and being surprised and astounded. If you like what you saw, like, comment, subscribe. Do all those. And check the community posts and, you know, and check the description. There's stuff there. And as always, we'll see you then.